Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I think I did say in the last episode I was going to talk on the video game company Bungie because, Bungie hasn't really been doing so good. And it really shows with Destiny 2, and it shows with their outcome of the Halo series. And for those that don't know, I feel like that, if you go back and look at the original Halos, I guess I don't know if they still be promoting them through because I know they did do like that Halo Remastered where they re-released all the Halo games. I don't know if it has like the Bungie taggings or that 343 Industries taggings, but let's hold on for a second. Let's just see what they got going on Wikipedia and stuff. Halo series. Let's see what pops up. I should have put franchise, but anyways, game series. Bungie was founded. Okay, so there was Bungie was founded in 1991. And it's just, it's one of those things where it's Master Chief Collection, who developed that? Oh yeah, so it was 343 Industries. They did develop, co-developed by 343 Industries in a partnership with certain Affinity and Saber Interactive published. So there was released in between 2001 and 2012, originally developed by Bungie and 343 Industries. It was originally released for Xbox One on November 11, 2014. So overall, they do give 343 Industries the credit for that Master Chief Collection, because when you sit down and think about it, it's like, what was that that environment like when Bungie was leaving Microsoft and venturing out on their own little video game and stuff, and that little video game just so happened to be the first Destiny. I will talk on the first Destiny because I really don't have no bad things to say about that. It's with the second Destiny that's where you guys messed up. And it leads me to think that's probably why Microsoft dropped you guys as a company, because to me, I don't get how you guys released Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach. You guys released 5 good. Well, I think 3 and 3 ODST. I think those were the same games. I think ODST was just like some added on content. It was kind of like an expanded game or whatever. It's kind of like how The Division got The Division, and then Warlords of New York it's its own game, but it's still actually no, that is still counts as a DLC. Anyways, Halo 3 ODST, that's in a league of its own. But regardless, you guys came out with 5 good video games. What happened? What overall happened with that last video game? Because something had to have happened. Something had to have happened for Microsoft, whether you guys came up with a game plan. And you know what I think? I think that they had probably what they wanted to do with Destiny 2. What I personally think, this is my conspiracy theory, I think that they went to Microsoft with that same way of how they did Destiny 2. They wanted the next Halo game to be like that, and Microsoft was probably like, no, we're not going to scam our fans. The thing is this, when you look at Microsoft as a company, when you look at just what they got going on, you have an affordable console and it's pretty much like a whole entertainment system. When you sit down and think about the amount of computers that they're behind, where then on top of that, you don't even really need an Xbox to play a game. You could just have a gaming PC that can play Xbox, or at least the games through the Xbox Game Pass. If we could just sit down and talk on the Xbox Game Pass for a second, bro, that, in my opinion, the Xbox Game Pass is probably the best video game subscription service out there. You got PlayStation Plus, you got Nintendo. Nintendo will probably be second, and then PlayStation Plus would be third if I had to rate them all and stuff. But overall, the Xbox Game Pass, if I could just sit down and talk about them real quick, this is more so kind of like a Microsoft promotion, but then just a overall Bungie Is Cooked episode. I am going to be promoting Microsoft and talking about them. And my thing is this, when I sit down and think of, that's one game I need to get back into playing is the last Halo game. But overall though, But when you sit down and look at all the stuff that Microsoft provides just with the Xbox alone, you have the Xbox Game Pass. You got a gang of games that you can play. Like, and even if you're subscribed to the Xbox Game Pass, there's all these different games that you can play day one of them coming out. All you just need to do is be subscribed to the Xbox Game Pass. You get to play games, Halo. You get to play games like Forza. Let's just open up the Xbox app real quick on my PC. Because just even with the latest game that I've really been playing a lot of, Doom: The Dark Ages. Then this other game called Spray Paint Simulator. Let's see some other games. Let's just name off some games that they got on the Xbox Game Pass. They got Balatro, they got Battlefield. Not all of the Battlefield games, but they got 3, 4, 1, 5, Hardline, 2042. What else? Burnout Paradise, Car Mechanic Simulator, Cooking Simulator. What are some other games? Dead by Daylight. The Disney Dreamlight Valley game, all the Doom games. You could play all the Doom games on the Xbox Game Pass. What else? The Fallout series, F1 games, Far Cry. What else? Then, of course, the last Forza is Forza Horizon 5, and then the new Forza Motorsport. Gears of War, Generation Zero, that's a pretty solid game. But I mean, the list goes on. They even got Grand Theft Auto 5 on here. And my thing is this, right? Imagine if Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out on the Xbox Game Pass. I know that'll never happen, but let's just say if that were to happen. And my thing is this, like, Bungie, you guys, it just doesn't even seem like that you're trying to have it where people are having fun with the game. I mean, okay, so you know what? Let's just sit down and talk about that. Let's sit down and talk about your guys' first video game after you were done. Because let's just see. I think Destiny was the first game that you guys came out with after games developed. Okay, so some game called Nop, never heard of it. Operation Desert Storm, never heard of it. Monitor, The Labyrinths of Crete, I think, never heard of it. Marathon 1 and 2, never heard of it. All these other games, never heard of them. And then you guys did Halo Combat Evolved. Then that's when you guys got put on the map. Then you did Halo 2. Then you did Halo 3, ODST. Yeah, like I said, then Halo Reach. Then you guys, and they're behind this new game called Marathon. Yeah, let's see how that goes. But anyways, the first game that you guys came out with after you were done with the Halo games was Destiny. Now let's just sit down and go back to that time frame of when Destiny came out, because I was there. I remember when Destiny was coming out. I remember when they did the beta testing for Destiny. I didn't get a chance to play it, but overall, I remember I was looking into that game, and a friend of mine was telling me about that game. It was a couple of friends of mine I went to school with, where we were like putting work hours into this game. Like, I mean, we were playing this game day and night. Like, we were grinding. I had to say, Destiny was probably the one game where I was so committed to grinding in that game. It was like, fam, if my thing is this, if I had taken content creating seriously during that time frame, I would have had a bunch of Destiny content. I mean, even when I did start getting into content, or more so taking content creating more seriously, and yeah, Destiny was one game that I was recording a lot of content on. Like, I was doing engram openings, I was doing PvP content, PvE content, I was doing content left and right in Destiny. Destiny was one game where I was like, fam, this is probably without doubt the best game that I've played. I don't say that about too many games, but Destiny 1, bro, you couldn't have messed up with that game. Then they started coming out with DLCs. Then they came out with what was that name of that DLC? The Taken King. I had to look at it. There's this poster that I got up. Still got a poster up of that DLC. But anyways, yeah, they came out with that Taken King DLC. And I was like, bro, this is amazing. They pretty much added a whole new game to this game, right? So what could possibly go wrong if they come out with the Destiny 2? There's absolutely no way that they can fumble Destiny 2, right? Destiny 2 gets announced. No way possible you're going to fumble this game. It's going to be better than Destiny 1. I know that much. But there's no way possible you guys can fail with this game. They failed with the game. Not at first, though. At first, the game seemed solid. The game seemed chilled. I'm like, I don't know how you can possibly mess up with this game. Then out of nowhere, they decided to hit us with the whole, we're going to make Destiny 2 free to play. Oh, okay, cool. But we're going to get rid of all the original content. Well, wait a minute. Time out. I spent money on the original content. Why are you taking the original content away? That's one thing that I've never seen in video game history. Even The Division, that's one game that I compare Destiny to a lot. Is that series. That's one thing that they never did with both 1 and 2, and you can still play all the original missions from 1. Like, they still got Washington, D.C. in it. But, like, no, sit down and think about that. That's like if they just, for some odd reason, a nuke hit Washington, D.C. in that game, and you can no longer play the original missions. But you paid money for that game to play the original missions. So my question to Bungie is, what was the whole reason of taking that out of the game? Like, nobody didn't ask for that. Nobody didn't ask you guys to take that content out of the game. You claim that you did it to make space for the game. Fam, do you see games like Call of Duty? Do you see games like Fortnite? I'm trying to think, Gmod? There's so many different games out there where it's like, fam, I guarantee and I promise you're going to need the biggest hard drive possible to play some of those games. Games like Grand Theft Auto 5. Games where them files, it's like, it's well over 100 gigabytes. And I think with Destiny, hold on for a second. Let's see what the Destiny 2 file is. Destiny 2, 144 gigabytes. And let's see what Call of Duty, what their file download thing is. I was about to say, do I have Call of Duty? 450 gigabytes. Fam, that's almost 50 more gigabytes, and you got a 500 gigabyte game. I mean, if they come out with one more game, you got a 500 gigabyte game. So my question is to Bungie is like, what was the reason of taking out the original content? That was something that I never understood, because I bought Destiny 2. I bought a special edition of Destiny 2, which meant like I was going to play this game. Like, there was nothing that was going to take me away. They take away, so for those that didn't get a chance to play Destiny 2 and all that, so they had like this story mode where it was like your Destiny character, they got into this fight with the Cabal, and then that was like pretty much the main story. Like, you was getting into this big giant war with the Cabal. I think it was the Cabal, but anyways, they just demolished that whole story and then just added in a new story. So you can't even play. So, and then that's what they did. So they changed it. They had it where when you very first start playing the game, they tried to recreate what you did in the first Destiny. Fam, if I wanted to play the first Destiny, I would have just went. Why not just have it where you guys remastered the first Destiny or re-released it on the new consoles? At least then, my thing is this. We still got Destiny 1 that we can play. But if we want to play Destiny 2 and experience new content, that option is still there. How you guys went about the development to Destiny 2, I mean, really, I that's something that I just don't understand it. Like, you're gonna have to walk me through your guys' thought process on developing Destiny 2, because at first it seemed like it was. I remember, so there was at a point in time where I wasn't really playing Destiny 2 like that. Like, I had started venturing out, playing other games. And then eventually I did get into playing Destiny 2. I was grinding in Destiny 2 like how I was grinding in Destiny 1. Now I have the friends that I needed to play with. They ventured out and they started doing their own things and playing their own games. But the thing is this, though. I was still having fun with Destiny 2. I was still grinding in that game. But it just seemed like that they were like, you know what? We gonna change this into something that it's not. And then you guys ruined it with like, the thing is this, you did add new content, and I'm, thankful that you guys did that, but there is no reason to get rid of the original content whatsoever. That's something where I'm like, I'm trying to process that and think of like all these different games. Like, the only other game that I see that with, but it's still, I mean, like, I guess they still got like the original content, but they still do take out content, is the new Forza Motorsport. Which, by the way, I don't recommend nobody paying full price for. That's not a full price game. That's a $30 game at most, if not lower than that. All right. But anyways, my thing is this, though. There's no reason to get rid of the original content. And that's something where I'm like, Bungie. And then so now that they're, I think they're pretty much done with Destiny. Like, they're not going to. I think they might have like one more thing that they were going to do with that game. I thought they were done with it, but I guess like they were going to come out with one more DLC. But now they got this game called Marathon that's out, where I guess it's supposed to be some sort of extraction shooter. Now you guys are trying to capitalize off of one of the fastest growing genres in video games right now. An extraction shooter. My question is to you, or Ubisoft, my apologies, to Ubisoft. I'm like, they're neck and neck when it comes to like just poorly developed video games and stuff, and then sequels on top of that. Because yeah, them first two games, it's like, yeah, Destiny 1 and the Division 1, amazing games. Two games where I can sit down and dump hours into them. But Destiny 2 and the Division 2, horrible, fumbled. But anyways, but my question to Bungie, how much money am I going to have to put into this game? Let's say if I do get this game called Marathon, this game that they're developing, let's say I do go out and buy this game, how much money am I going to have to put into it? Because I guarantee and I promise you, I'm not putting no more than what that game costs. But what I would recommend is that you guys need to have that game come out on either PlayStation Plus, have it where it's like, because the game needs to be free. It doesn't need to be no game that you pay money for. Hold on for a second. I don't know if the game is going to be free to play. They say Marathon is an upcoming first-person shooter video game developed and published by Bungie, announced in May 2023. The game is a new entry in Bungie's original Marathon series. Oh, so they had like another Marathon. Huh, I didn't know that. I thought that this was, what was the first release? 1994. Latest release, Marathon Infinity, 1996. Huh, didn't know about that. I should look into those games. But there was like, Marathon is a first-person multiplayer extraction shooter in the southern planet Tau Ceti. I don't know what that is. But anyways, but my question is, it's like, why do you assume that everybody just wants to play an extraction shooter when there's all these different extraction shooter games that exist? Like, you guys are just trying, you're showing me that you want to just make money at this point. But you're not trying to come out with a game that's meant for the audience. You're just coming out with a game that's like meant for the audience, where it's like, oh, that's where the money maker is at and stuff. Fam, not everybody's going to be wanting to play an extraction shooter. So I guess at the end of the day, it really is left up to me on whether or not I am going to play this game. But I don't think they're going to have no single player content, not no extraction shooter game. But anyways, let's just see what they got going on. So game is coming out in September. But yeah, overall, it's one of those things where I'm like, let's see how long this game lasts. You know, because I have been seeing that. What was that one game? Concord. That was a game where I'm like, that's what I honestly see when I see this Marathon game. I see a game like Concord, where it's gonna come out, people are gonna play it for a little bit, eventually they're gonna move on to something else. Unless this is a game where it's like easy to get stuff, it's easy to play, maybe might have some, and I think that's what they should do with Marathon, add some single player content. Because not everybody gonna be wanting to play multiplayer. Not everybody be wanting to play online with people, because people are toxic nowadays. You be playing games out there and you be dealing with toxic crowds for no reason. That's one thing that I see so much when it comes to video games, where it's like you look at the reviews and then be people saying like, oh yeah, like the community is just, they're unwelcoming and stuff. And I ain't dealt with my fair share unwelcoming communities and stuff in video games. So that's why I'm like, fam, you don't need to be like other games. Be yourself. You guys did that with the first Destiny. Where's that same attitude? Where's that same energy? You guys, it just, like I said, you guys are proving my point that you are only in the business to make money. You are not trying to make a fun game. If you were trying to make a fun game, my thing is, if people are all like, well, what would I do if I own Bungie? If I own Bungie, Destiny 1 would be getting a re-release. And it would be getting released on PC. So for those that didn't get a chance of playing the game, like a case of, yeah, if you just been playing on gaming PCs and haven't bought a console since, I hit my microphone, my fault. But anyways, if you haven't bought a console since George Bush was in office, then yeah, overall, I'm like, you just been playing on gaming PCs. I'm like, okay, what we would not, George Bush, that's just way too far. Maybe Barack Obama's second term in office. Okay, there we go. A little bit further ahead. I was like, nah, George Bush, that was way too far back. But anyways, because yeah, they were like playing, like they were doing Halo stuff during that time. But anyways. But I would have it where Destiny 1 gets a re-release, and then have it where it's like it's the complete edition. Probably have it where it's at a cheap price, since the game's been out for some time. So probably maybe like $30 for the complete edition. Because yeah, it's gonna come with all the DLCs. It's gonna come with all that stuff. Multiplayer is gonna be included. And it ain't gonna be like how Call of Duty did with their game, where there was like, oh yeah, we're gonna re-release Call of Duty, but it's only gonna be the story. That's not a full game. But anyways, have it where we re-add all the original content on Destiny 2, and have it, if I gotta have it where the game goes back to you have to pay for it model, then okay, so be it. But my thing is this though. People are going to play a game, not play half of a game, not play parts of a game, or have to hurry up and rush and play the game. And then that was another thing I remember what they did with the season pass stuff. Like, and I think they changed that because they were like, oh, well, now that the game's free, we gotta figure out more. And you know, that's what I think too. That I think that Bungie was like, okay, we can't make additional money if the game is like you pay for it, and then we have like this season pass. So we'll just have it where the game's free to play, but you do have to buy the season passes and pay like $40-$50 for a DLC. I mean, I'm saying, like, I think they had it where the one DLC was like $100 because it was like some special edition or something like that. Hold on for a second. Let me see. Go back to Destiny. And yeah, $99 for this Year of the Prophecy, something like that, Ultimate Edition. This is a DLC. This is a DLC that's coming out. Hold on for a second. Let me go to oh no, it's a. They got 3 different types. They got one that's so they got like the Edge of Fate. That's a DLC. That's $39.99. Then they got Year of the Prophecy, $79.99. And then they got the Year of the Prophecy Ultimate Edition. That's $99.99. Then if you had to buy all the DLCs all together, it's $149.99. And then the Destiny 2 Legacy Collection, $69.99. So really, at the end of the day, is this a free to play game? Or is this a game that I'm like, it's free to download, but all the other content, I do have to buy that? Versus you got games out there, and that's one game I feel like Destiny gets compared to a lot, is Warframe, where they don't have it where you're having to pay for no DLCs. Yeah, they have it where it's like the cosmetic stuff that you got to pay for, but as far as the DLCs, no, you ain't got to pay for that. Hold on for a second. Let me see if Warframe does have any DLCs. Maybe they do, and I'm like, you know what? If they do, then it's like, it's something I'm not tripping about, because I'm like, nah, yeah, it's all cosmetic stuff. They ain't got no DLCs in this game. They ain't got like no stuff where it's like it's added in content. Yeah, all this stuff is cosmetics. So that's why I'm like, yeah, fam. It's one of those things where I'm like, they wait a minute, is this it? Is this a DLC? No, yeah, this is some cosmetic stuff. It's just giving you weapons and cosmetic gear and stuff. So yeah, it's like Warframe, that's a game where I'm like, in my opinion, if you're looking for a game like Destiny that is actually free to play and not free to download, but you gotta pay for all the like the content, the gameplay content and stuff, Warframe will probably be your best option. But Bungie, in my opinion, they don't know what they're doing anymore. If they did, all the stuff that they're doing right now wouldn't be happening. So anyways, with that being said, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.